Today, we're going to talk about personalizing shoppable ads and the shift from cookies to headless commerce. So recently, Javox and Shoppable announced our partnership, and essentially we have partnered up together to create a really essentially the holy grail of a marketing commerce experience with personalized ads. And just to kick things off, Nimai, why don't you kind of tell us a little bit about how this partnership first came to be?
Yeah, thanks, Heather. This partnership is particularly exciting for us. So we're both Facebook marketing partners. So our partner connection at Meta basically brought us together and said, you both have these unique experiences that can come together to create something very unique. So we started the conversation of what would that be like in further conversations with CMOs and CROs of Fortune 5000 companies. That hypothesis was validated, and so nearly 12 months ago we started testing how we could work together, and recently we announced that we partnered together. So.
Thank you for that background. And can we take it maybe a step further and help the audience understand why is this type of partnership so important to advertisers, as well as different types of publishers and platforms, including Meta, and hence why they brought us together?
Absolutely. So the reason why, if you've seen the earnings reports of companies like Nike or many CPG companies, you've been seeing that there's a huge shift in media budget going online. So it used to be about 6 to 8% would be via e-commerce sales. Now these companies are netting 15 to 20% of their overall earnings via e-commerce. So whatever experiences that you can enable via a headless commerce experience, which we're going to discuss, or via personalized ads, that is what was the genesis of this. Now, as we're thinking further along about like who would benefit from this from like a publisher standpoint, it's we serve more ads through personalization. So we do better targeting and retargeting. So the benefit to a Trade Desk or a DV360 or an Amazon DSP or any DSP is massive in terms of better targeting and retargeting from an audience ID perspective. But also, as you think about like some of these brands that are emerging, they have the ability to get more of this data in real time about the specific users. So the black box right now is that there's a 30-day lag of this retail information about which products are selling, and they don't get that to the user or the impression level. What Shoppable and Javox allows you to do is get down to the net impression level and tell you how is your media performing, and thereby enable you to say why you should double down on certain channels, one of the biggest ones being social, because that's been a huge driver for sales for a lot of these brands.
Yeah, absolutely. And getting that color to what has been a black box is, really just invaluable, obviously, to, D2C brands, retailers, and any type of advertiser. And honestly, was shocking to hear what little data these advertisers have been able to capture historically. So we're very excited about the partnership and very excited to be here to share a little bit more about what we're doing together, what the opportunities are for everyone here, and then share a little bit about some of the data and insights that we've been seeing as well within the industry. So on that note, Nimai, as head of product and growth at Javox, you are right in the center of a lot that's happening within this industry. Can you share with us a little bit about some of the trends that you're seeing?
Yeah, so this industry is seeing like massive transformation, and there's a few different things, at least on the DCO side and on the personalization side of the house that we're seeing. One is retail media has become a huge trend, but more than that, it's this whole commerce marketing media or commerce marketing cloud trend. So that encompasses shoppable ads, which we're going to cover off in more detail, but it also covers off retail media, which is, can you pull data from all these walled gardens like Instacart or DoorDash or Walmart and basically use that as an inference to do better targeting and retargeting of said users? So that's where you can actually personalize an ad based on loyalty schemes, whether it's a national, local to national campaign, whether you have to create a specifically curated CTA. So that's where some of these retail media data points help quite a bit. The second piece of this is the emphasis on data. So Heather alluded to that what the two parties come together, they allow you to remove, to open up this black box and provide you with the data of which products are trending, which users are trending, etc. But with that, what we're seeing is this concept of data clean rooms. So each walled garden, maybe Google or Facebook or Amazon, they provide data for you, but that data usually resides within their own data cloud. A data clean room allows you to ingest data from all these different walled gardens, pull it into one central repo, and then double click from an audience level to an impression level to be able to determine how truly your media is performing. So that's a huge game changer. The third piece of this is, which is in the title, is the third-party cookie deprecation issue. So first-party identity or dependency on it is becoming massive. What is important here is the architecture of a first-party identity issue, i.e. it's not just a pixel, it's not just a graph, it's a hub. What that means is that can you actually create the ability to integrate with Trade Desk UID 2.0 or LiveRamp's hashed emails or integrate with a customer data platform? The more data points that you're able to ingest, the more you're able to understand the user, and that allows you to move from a probabilistic experience to a more deterministic experience, thereby making sure that your personalization for your direct-to-consumer experience is that much more personalized.
Great, thank you for sharing some of those trends. And usually the types of trends that we're seeing are coming up as a result of different types of challenges that are within the environment. So can you dive into some of the challenges that you're seeing in the space, and how is Javox solving them right now?
Yeah, so there's a couple of things that are happening. So I know that this is a hot button topic and people are saying that we're on the precipice of possibly a recession, but why that is great for ad tech is that more of the media budget will move from brick and mortar towards more digital channels. But with that is a careful assessment by every CMO about where their ad dollars are going towards. Historically, a lot of CMOs were making experiments towards Snap, Pinterest, a lot of opportunistic channels. We're seeing a consolidation in the media budget towards specific channels like Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Those drive about 90% of the impression volumes. The rest are nice to have 10%. You've seen this in Snap's earnings reports too. It was a clear indicator there. So being smarter about which channels to double down on will be a big challenge. Number two is, now that we're entering this specific time frame where we're more margin conscientious and conscious, how do we preserve that? So that means more revenue and commerce ownership. That means that less dependency on third-party marketplaces like Amazon and other players, towards saying, like, maybe I can actually own the entire experience within my own domain. So maybe I'll integrate with a Shoppable at Javox. Maybe we'll integrate with a Shopify or a BigCommerce. But owning that in your domain will be vitally important for each individual sales margins. So that's number two. Number three is, I alluded to this in the last question, is deterministic targeting. You need to know the user. You cannot approximate who the user is. They may like this, because now every single dollar will be scrutinized. The return on ad spend emphasis is massive now more than ever. Therefore, if you're able to do better deterministic targeting via an ID graph, and thereby, one of the things that we were discussing is this landscape is getting very crowded for first-party identity solutions. So having a carefully matrix structure of like, who's doing it via deterministic IDing, no fingerprinting, who is SOC 2 Type 2 compliant, who is using best-in-class data and privacy practices, who has an open ID architecture. Those will be certain questions that you want to answer.
Thank you for addressing that. And if we dig a little deeper into the third-party cookie deprecation. How does that affect personalization in shoppable ads?
Yeah, so a couple things will happen and this is just a hypothesis. I don't have a magic ball here, but what I will say is that there'll be a bigger weightage that's placed in first-party data. So a pixel that's deployed within your brand site that will study customer journeys, that will study where is the user spending the most amount of time on the page, what products are they adding to their wish list, their basket. Those will matter more. More contextual data partnerships. So we do geo-based targeting, weather-based targeting, but now you have to get more clever in terms of other things like event-based data. So are there specific sports events, or are there specific music events? Are there specific geopolitical events that you want to basically, tailor your ads around, like specifically the World Economic Forum or Davos or something like that? So those will matter more. The other part of this is more emphasis on data privacy and security. This is becoming huge. And you're seeing a lot of press releases, blog articles, and every single SaaS/ISV company is saying, we're SOC 2 Type 2 compliant. Why does that matter? That's a 12-month grueling process by a third party that independently audits your security posture versus a self-audit that's being delivered by the ISV or SaaS by themselves, which can be done pretty easily within a month. So so more emphasis on how you're able to deliver these experiences, but also procure and house that data in a safe and efficient manner will matter.
Mm-hmm. And you talked a little bit about how you can solve that kind of locally and geo for some of the smaller advertisers. But, for some of the larger retailers or larger D2C brands that are here, how can, they handle personalization with shoppable ads at scale?
Yeah, so it's a good question. I mean, there's multiple ways to do this. There's three specific ways that I'll address here, but one is in-domain customizable shoppable ads. So that means that if, for example, you are a CPG brand and you have a sub-brand, which could be focused on something specific, then if you're delivering an ad via social, via a display, video, or even owned media, could be an email or website, that links back to the dynamic landing page through which you're able to deliver within the domain a complete shoppable experience. This could be augmented with like videos or testimonials from brand ambassadors. But creating a better association with your brand matters quite a bit. Number two will be headless commerce APIs. So some people will want to basically design the overall website or landing page experience to suit their needs. Headless commerce, which Heather is going to get into more detail, will matter because they're able to make sure that it's completely tailored towards said user. The third piece of this is linked ads to marketplaces. So now, let's say there's certain brands that are saying, we don't want to do Shopify, we don't want to do BigCommerce. We just want to basically create personalized shoppable ads from any channel that basically link back to an Amazon, a Walmart, a Lazada. There's a lot of ASOS, for example. They have the ability to do that by just basically making sure that the ad tags link back to these specific marketplaces and specifically the product pages on those marketplaces.
Thank you. And so my last question before we shift gears here for you is really the $1,000,000 question, which is how do you deliver the right ad at the right time to the right person?
So this is, I was just joking with others, this is like some self-coined acronyms, but know your customer. So if you're able to integrate with a customer data platform or a personalization DCO provider, you'll be able to get to know them. Continuously learn about your customer. So that could be through data platforms, but also you have your own data cleaning room through which you're storing historical data points about what did the user buy or spend their time on in a specific campaign or on a specific site. And then basically deliver an experience that matters to the user. So measure your NPS and the quality or the effectiveness of the experience that you delivered. i.e., did you delight the customer? Then you've got something. So know your customer, learn about your customer, delight your customer. If you maximize the three, you're golden.
You nailed it. Great, thank you so much.
And now we're going to take an opportunity to flip the script So I'm going to interview Heather now, who's going to speak specifically to a lot of the cool technology that we're working on, but also as she's seeing this evolving landscape of advertising and commerce, she can provide her expert opinion on what she's seeing as well. So without further ado, Heather, for those who don't know what headless commerce is, what is headless commerce?
Yeah, so there's a lot of jargon in this industry. There's always something new coming up. But headless commerce, for those that don't know, is essentially when you break apart the front end of the website, or essentially the parts of the website that the shoppers are seeing and interacting with, and you split that up from the back end infrastructure of the website, or the part of the website that the shoppers never see. And it really allows for a lot of flexibility in the technology and the user experience, and in how you interact with your shoppers, and how you're able to interact with other types of partners.
Great. So we've been talking about customer journey optimization, and that's one of the reasons why we partnered together. How does headless commerce enable that?
Yeah, so headless commerce enables that by really reducing the
Friction that exists from on the consumer journey, from wherever you discover that product, any type of ad experience, to actually purchasing that product. So a traditional e-commerce experience often has anywhere around 10 to 15 clicks from when you are inspired to purchase that product and actually buy it. And every single time a consumer is clicking, you're losing those shoppers, or those users are dropping off, and the conversion is dropping off as well. So headless commerce is really bringing that cart, is able to be used to bring that cart to the consumer and essentially deliver a one-click commerce experience. So now's probably a good time to show you guys what the experience looks like that Jabox and Shoppable are doing together. So let's see. There we go. Perfect. So the first image that you're seeing here is, top of the funnel. This is an ad that can actually show up, anywhere from Facebook, Instagram, any place that you would see an ad. And literally with one click, you are brought to the second screen that you see in the middle of the chart here, which is the checkout. And that already has the products that were within the ad pre-populated. And if it is a product such as this one that we have in the demo that is available at multiple retailers, we can automatically optimize the cart based on the retailers that have it in stock. Obviously, inventory has been a huge challenge for a lot of companies right now, but we can optimize that cart based on inventory availability, pricing, shipping, any other number of types of pieces go into that technology. But it is truly, seamless one-click checkout. And then, of course, when you look at the third slide here, as Nimai was talking about earlier, you're able to get access to such valuable first-party data and insights, directly from all of these campaigns and while the campaigns are running.
Great. So let's dig a little deeper. Why is this better than what exists in the market today?
Yeah, so what has existed historically is resulting in over 200 billion of lost revenue. So that is massive amounts of revenue that I think everyone in here would love to capture and find a solution for. And what you're able to do by, again, leveraging headless commerce, one-click solutions, you're able to massively increase the conversion, an actual not just click conversion, but a purchase conversion. So at Shoppable, what we're seeing right now, active campaigns running, we're seeing conversions that are 2x the national average for conversion. So just really massive benefits.
So we are at Affiliate Summit East, and maybe let's personalize this towards all our affiliate folks here, but how can affiliate publishers use headless commerce to improve the native ads experience for advertisers?
Yeah, so for affiliate publishers on that side, there's a lot of different benefits that they can capture from it. Some of it being similar to the advertisers, because obviously they're in that business as well. So they're able to leverage that first party data. They're able to build direct relationships with the shoppers. But even more so, they are able to create a more personalized shopping experience directly within their site. And they're able to, when they're able to host that checkout within their site, they are able to control that whole brand experience and the identity throughout that experience. And with that, they're able to keep the shopper within their experience. So if you're a publisher, if you're a marketplace, if you're someone within that, that side of the business, you work so hard to create great content to get these users or shoppers to your site, to engage within your site. So the last thing you really want to do is be forced to forward them away from that type of experience. So what this does is really allow them the ability to again, bring that cart to the consumer, embed it directly within their site. So they're still sending those sales, and they're sending more sales because they're increasing conversion, more sales to the advertisers and to their consumers, but they're also able to keep that user engaged within their content and continue to monetize them. So it truly is content to commerce, and it's transformational from that type of experience, for sure.
And this is the last of the questions, but it's how is affiliate marketing evolving with the innovation in headless commerce and one-click checkout?
Yeah, so I think we've seen, so Shoppable's been in this space. We were very early, hence why we were able to get patents on the technology. So we've been in the space for 10 years now. But what we've seen is with Instagram, they've launched their checkout in 2019. I'm sure all of you guys have seen it, have engaged with it. I know I see it almost every day myself, spending time on social media. But with that release of checkout, it really brought this type of checkout experience to the masses. And it reset the expectation from shoppers to truly frictionless commerce, and to the ability to see something when that demand is created and be able to execute on it and complete that purchase without all these clicks. Without that type of experience, every single click, again, that you're forcing that, that shopper to go through, you're losing revenue and you're losing consumers going through that process. So we really saw that start to create more demands from the consumers in that type of experience, more advertisers interested in using that type of technology, whether it's directly within their ad experiences, within kind of sponsored shoppable pop-up shops with different types of publishers, as well as social commerce, which obviously has been around for a while, and with influencers and creators, particularly within that space. What we're seeing is essentially anyone that hasn't been doing that is saying, this is the year where they know they need to get into that and be able to execute truly authentic campaigns. But also, of course, bringing it back to data, they have to be able to track the efficacy of these campaigns, whether it's individual creators that they're working with or different publishers, and they can do so with using this type of technology. So all the way through to the real purchase.
Well, with that, Heather, thank you for joining me on stage. It was we are super excited about this partnership. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach Heather and I. Heather is Heather@Shoppable.com,
yep.
I believe, and I'm DemayaJavox.com, and we're available on Twitter as well. And yeah, please, thank you for attending.
And let's give it up for Demaya.